Hi students, welcome to online class. So today we are going to discuss about chapter 7 Python functions. So now we are going to discuss about the built-in functions. So what is mean by built-in functions? Built-in functions means the functions are already predefined in the programming language. Built-in functions are the functions which are predefined in the programming language. So first we are going to discuss about absolute function. So in short they have given you as ABS. ABS means absolute function. So what is mean by absolute function? It returns the absolute value of a number. Absolute value means correct value of the given number, right? So whatever we are passing as an argument in the function, the argument may be a integer number or a floating point number. So inside the parenthesis we are going to give the argument. That particular argument may be an integer or a floating point number. So whether it is a whole number or a number which contains a decimal point and a fractional part. So that is called floating point number. So see the syntax how they have given. ABS absolute. Inside the parenthesis we can pass the argument x. The argument may be x or y or any argument, A, B, C, whatever the argument we like we can give. So see the example here, they have given x equal to 20. X equal to 20. So the value of x is 20. Then they have given y is equal to 23.2, but they have given in negative value. Y is equal to minus 23.2. So when they print the value of x and y using the absolute function ABS of x, ABS of y. So what is the output? So x value is 20, y value is 23.2. So here the negative value is changed into a positive value. Y is equal to 23.2. So it returns the exact value. Absolute value means exact value of the given number, right? I think we can see this in a practical manner. So already I have typed all the Python programs and then I have saved in my system. So in this particular lesson onwards I am not going to type and show you the program because it takes some time for me to type the coding. So for that purpose already I have created all the programs and then stored in my system. So here afterwards I will show you all the programs in a pre-typed manner. So already I have saved the absolute function. So see here, so x value is 20, y value is minus 23.2. So when I run the program, when I press F5, can you see the result? So x value is 20, y value is 23.2. So that is the explanation of absolute function. Now we can see the next function ORD. So what is mean by ORD function? So what is the usage of ORD function? It is used to return the ASCII value of the given Unicode character. So whatever the character we are giving, it is used to return the ASCII value of the given character. So we have studied in the 11th standard itself what is mean by ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So all the characters have an ASCII value. For example, in 11th itself we have studied from capital A to capital Z, ASCII value is 65 to 90. Like that small a to small z we have studied 97 to 122. So each and every character have an ASCII value. So whenever we give any one particular character, the ORD function is used to return the exact ASCII value of the given character. So they are saying another point. This function is the inverse of CHR function, that is character function. So this function is the inverse of character function. Right. Let's see the syntax of ORD function. ORD of C. So they are given the argument. One variable is given here. So let's see the example. C is equal to, in single quotes they are given small a. So what is the ASCII value of small a? 97. Then they are assigned another. D is equal to capital A. So what is the ASCII value of capital A? 65. So when I print these particular statements using the ORD function, ORD of C, so the output is C is equal to 97. So like that I have given print function. Using the print function I am going to return the ASCII value of A. What is the ASCII value of A? 65. So ORD function is used to return the ASCII value of the given character. Whatever the character we give, based on that it returns the ASCII value. Right, we see this in a practical manner. So ORD function. So see here, C is equal to small a, D is equal to capital A. So when I press F5, it shows C is equal to 97, A is equal to 65. Can you see this? C is equal to 97, A is equal to 65. So the same output is shown here. Right? I think you might have understood this. Next we can see the character function CHR. So already we studied ORD function is the inverse of CHR function. Then here we are going to see about CHR function. What is meant by CHR function? It returns the Unicode character for the ASCII value. So we have studied ORD means it is used to return the ASCII value for the given Unicode character. Here CHR is just opposite. It is just inverse of ORD function. It is used to return the Unicode character for the given ASCII value. So whenever we give some value, see here for example C equal to 65. Whenever I give some number, that is ASCII value 65. So instead of 65, C is assigned as 65 only. But when I use the CHR function, whenever I pass the CHR function inside the CHR function, if I pass any argument, so whatever the argument we are passing, it checks the value of the argument. So here we have passed CHR of C. So what is the value of C? 65. So instead of 65, it shows capital A. So because CHR function is used to return the Unicode character of the given ASCII value, whatever the value we are passing, so that value's Unicode character will be displayed. So this function is the inverse of ORD function. So see that they have given the syntax CHR of I. You can give any other variable. Instead of CHR of I, you can give CHR of X, Y, CHR of A, like that. See here, next thing they are given D is equal to 43. So what is the ASCII value? What is the ASCII character of 43? So the symbol plus is assigned for the ASCII value 43. So it is printed CHR of D. When I print CHR of D, it shows plus, because plus is the Unicode character that is assigned for the ASCII value 43. Right. Let's see this in a practical manner. So when I open the program, so CHR, so C equal to 65, D is equal to 43. CHR of C, CHR of D. So when I press F5, it shows A and then plus. Can you see the output? For example, if I change instead of 65, if I change 97, now what will happen? Save the program, and then when I press F5, instead of capital A, it shows small a. Can you see this? How it is changed to the ASCII character? I have changed the ASCII value. So based on that, it changes to a Unicode character. Right. Now we can see the next built-in function, binary function. What is mean by binary function? The binary function is used to return the binary string prefixed with 0b for the given integer number. So binary function is used to return the given string in a prefixed with 0b. So 0b represents binary. So whatever the number we are giving, that particular number is changed to binary. So you already know about how to convert the decimal number to binary. Binary means zeros and ones is called binary. So here, whenever we give some integer number, that number will be changed to binary and it is prefixed with 0b. You can use format function instead of this function. Instead of using this binary function, we can use format function. So see the syntax they are given, binary of I, that is bin of I. Now see the example. So x equal to 15. They have assigned the they have assigned the integer number 15. Right? They are assigned to x. Then y is equal to 101. So when I convert this particular thing to binary, 15 in binary, bin of x, like that, print 101 in binary, bin of y. When I do this, see the output is prefixed with 0b. So now 15 is a number which is in decimal, which is in decimal manner. So that is changed to binary. See here. So 1111. So this is the equivalent binary number for 15. So like that, 101. What is the equivalent binary number for 101? 1100101. So that is the equivalent number for binary equivalent number for 101. Right. I think you might have understood this. So binary function is nothing but which is used to convert the given integer number into binary, and then it is prefixed with 0b. So 0b represents binary. So now they have changed 15 and 101 to binary. We can see this in a practical manner. So how this binary function works? So bin function. So I have already typed the number x equal to 15, y equal to 101. So when I press F5, now you can see the output here. Can you see the output? So 0b 1111 and then 0b 1100101. For example, if I change instead of 15, if I change to 8, so now what will happen? So when I press F5 after saving the program, 0b 1000. I think now you have understood this binary function. So now we can go for the next function, type function. So what is mean by type function? The type function is used to return the type of object for the single given object. So here it is used to return the type of the object. The type of the object means, for example, if I assign x equal to 15, x equal to 15. So x is a variable which stores a decimal number. If I give x equal to 15.5, so here 15.5 is a floating point number. So this is what the type function is going to identify. It is going to identify the type of the object. It is going to identify the type of the object. It is going to return what type of value, what type of object. Simply you can understand like data type. And then this function is used with the single object parameter. You can use only one parameter. We cannot use more than one parameter. See this type, and then you can give the objects. Let's see the example, then you can understand it clearly. So x equal to 15.2. So 15.2 is a floating point number that is assigned to the variable x. So like that, here y is equal to a. So a is a string. A is a string, that is character. It belongs to character. So character is belong to the string data type. One or more character belongs to string data type. So here a is assigned to y. So when I print using the type function type of x, so x is assigned to 15.2 is assigned to x. So x contains the floating point value. So the output is shown as class float. So x belongs to floating data type. So like that they have given print statement, print type y. So y is a variable that is assigned, a is a character that is assigned to y. So I have used the type function and then I have passed y. So now what happens? What is the output? Class str. So now we have assigned two values for two variables, and then we have shown what data type that particular variable belongs. You can see now. We can see in a practical manner. So this is type function. So x equal to 15.2, y is equal to a. So using that, I am just using those two variables, I am finding out the type of object. The variables belongs to which data type. So when I press F5, so it shows class float, class str. Can you see that? For example, if I change these things, 15.2 instead of 15.2, if I change to 15, so when I save this program, when I press F5, now what it shows? Class integer, class str. Right? I have changed only for x alone. I am not changing for y. So x alone is changed, class int. So it belongs to integer data type. X belongs to integer data type. I think you might have understood this function. So what is mean by type function? The type function is used to return the type of the object, which data type it belongs to. Right. Now we can see the next function, id function. What is mean by id function? Id function is used to identify of identity of the object. It is used to return the identity of the object. Here identity in the sense, it is used to return the memory address of the object. See, usually we have studied in 11th standard in programming languages, each and every, whenever we create a variable, each and every variable is stored in a memory address. You might have studied in 11th standard in first volume, third chapter. Memory is there. Each and every variable, each and every value, whenever the user gives, the values are stored in the memory. Each and every memory have a address. Like that we have studied. So here we are going to find out the memory address of the object. So that is what it is shown here. id is a function, built-in function, which is used to return the identity of the object. It is used to return the memory address of the object. And then the address may vary in different systems. So each and every system, the memory address may be different. The memory address may be different. So that is what they are saying. So now you see the syntax, id of objects. So I am going to see the example. I am going to show you the example. Same example I am just taking x equal to 15.2. So I am storing 15.2 value in the variable x, and then I am going to store the character a in the variable y. Now I am not going to show the value of x and y. I am not going to show the value of x and y. I am going to find out, I am going to check where the value of x is stored, where the value of y is stored, or else we can say what is the memory address of x and what is the memory address of y. I am going to find out the memory address of x and y. See here in printing statement, address of x is id of x, address of y is id of y. So when I run this particular program, it shows the output as address of x is 35925.632. Address of y is 19199.68. So this particular address may be changed because each and every system the memory address will be different. Right? I think you might have understood this. ID function is used to return the identity of an object. Simply we can say that it is used to return the memory address. Right. Now we can see this in a practical manner. Let's see this in a practical manner. So Control plus O. So already I have stored in the programs folder. So identity ID function. So here it is going to return the address. So when I press F5, so what it shows? So 3, 4. Now you can see the difference. See here. See here. So now the address is changed. See here 35925632. But what is the address now? It is showing 349555152. And then 191968. But now it is showing 19680224. So each and every time whenever we run the program, the address may be different. It may be stored in different places. So that's why it is showing in a different manner. So when I created this program, when I run that program, this is the address where the x is a variable stored. This is the address where y is stored. But now when I am running the same program and then showing to you, it is showing the different address. So that is what here they are saying. The address may vary in different systems. The memory address may be varied in different systems. Right. I think you might have understood this. Right. Let's revise this particular functions again, once again. So what is mean by absolute function? The absolute function is used to return the absolute value of a number, exact value of the number. So that is called absolute function. Then what is mean by ORD function? The ORD function is used to return the ASCII value of the given Unicode character. Whatever the character we are assigning, so that particular character's ASCII value will be returned. So this is just the inverse of CHR function. Right. Next, what is mean by CHR function? CHR function is used to return the Unicode character of the given ASCII value. So whenever we give the ASCII value, it returns the ASCII values Unicode character. This particular ASCII values Unicode character will be displayed. So this function is the inverse of ORD function. And then next one is binary function. It is used to return the given number in binary manner. It is used to convert the given integer number into binary, prefixed with 0b. So whatever the number we are giving, it changes to binary, prefixed with 0. So see here 0b 1111. So this is the decimal number 15. So its equivalent binary number is 0b 1111. Then next function is type function. It is used to return the type of the object. Simply we can say that it is used to return the data type of the object, and then we can pass only single parameter. So we cannot pass more than one parameter. And then next one is id function. So what is mean by id function? So it is used to identify identity. It is used to return the identity of the object. In simple term, we can say that it is used to return the memory address of the object. Right. So each and every system, the memory address may be varied. Each and every system, the memory address may be varied. I think you might have understood all the functions, all the built-in functions. So some other built-in functions we can see in the next video. So take down the notes and then try to study all the functions. So let's end the class. Thank you, students.